Today, I am feeling grateful because the topic that we are going to tackle or talk about is something that I find relatable, interesting, yet hard to answer or practice. And just a friendly reminder, the insights that I am about to share now are based from my own experiences, consultation with friends and colleagues in the helping profession or in the same field, articles read, and one video clip. Okay, so later I'll show you my references. Okay, and I am just one of the many people who is aiming to help you if you are a person who struggles, kagaya ko, to say no. But I am glad I am learning, and until now I am still a work in progress when it comes to this. But one of the life hacks or lessons that the pandemic taught me is to learn how to say no without feeling guilty, because the pandemic made me realize, and I think most of us, no, Ma'am Jess, would agree that we must protect our inner peace and mental health as much as we take care of our physical health. I understand that we have our own reasons, and I'd love to know yours. So please comment below your personal reasons why saying no is hard for you. Top 5 reasons why saying no isn't always easy. So number 1, basically because it simply sounds negative. Hindi siya magandang pakinggan. Do you agree? So the word no is not nice to hear, and there is a tendency to underestimate it because of thinking that the word no conveys negative feeling. So, kunyari, my answer is no, period. Hindi ako pwede. Hindi kita matutulungan ngayon o hindi kita masasamahan. So, imposible. So, we have our own set of values and beliefs on what is right and wrong, what is important and not. That is why for some, siguro, it may appear rude or not being nice. But in reality, this is a distorted or invalid view of what being nice or kind means. And number 2, fear. So the acronym FEAR stands for false evidence appearing real. Isn't it intimidating to say no to someone, especially to people close to us, pwedeng kamag-anak, family member, or any person that we are trying to win, no, yung gusto natin na mapalapit tayo sa taong to. Paano kung hindi ko pinakopya yung kaibigan or best friend ko, for sure magagalit siya o hindi niya ako papansinin o kakausapin. O kung hindi ako makapag-report kay ma'am or sir kasi masakit ang pakiramdam ko. Paano kung hindi ko mapasa kay ma'am o sir yung requirement namin on a Sunday night? Baka magbago yung treatment sa akin ng best friend ko kung tatanggihan ko siya na mag-K-drama na lang kami instead of reviewing our lesson, no? Or for an upcoming quiz or test. Baka magalit yung classmate ko kung hindi ko siya tutulungan. Kaya ako nga hindi ko pa nagagawa yung report ko. So ako na lang lagi yung ina-assign ni ma'am na mag-report. Baka pwedeng iba naman. Kaso baka may bearing yun sa grades ko. So ang selfish ko ata kung hindi ko papakopyahin si Bess. Fear of causing the reason for others to feel discomfort, getting disliked, pain, disappointment, rejection, o baka sabihan ng walang pakikisama. And the list goes on for all forms of negative feelings or hurtful ones. And number 3, excessive worry of others' POV or point of view of you. This is linked to number 2, worrying or overthinking for something that is beyond our control. So before I'm guilty of this, no? So what others think of us, okay? Wala na tayong control about that. So minsan di talaga maiwasan, but let us remember that what's important no, is our relationship with God, ourselves, and the people close to us, our loved ones, no? So it risky, no, yung overthinking until you appear to be a people pleaser. So we seek the need to satisfy others without thinking first of our own needs. And number 4, failure to reflect. So sometimes yes is treated like an automated response or a natural instinct kasi natural na sa atin willing o gustong tumulong. It is already expected from us. But reflecting for a while, giving yourself time to breathe can help. So pause for a moment and take a deep breath. No? So huminga at mag-isip muna bago sumagot. Number 5, it can leave a sense of guilt or that guilt feeling when there is nothing really to be guilty about. So let that guilt turn into something good by going down to another 5. Okay, this time we are going to discover 5 guilt-free tips naman. So, for number 1, know yourself. So, rather than immediately responding to a question or request, take time to ask yourself, ano ba talaga yung gusto ko? What do I really want? So, knowing what you want, including your interests, beliefs, values, and priorities matter in making a decision. So, learning to prioritize your needs first is not selfish and unkind. Ask yourself, or will saying yes prevent me from focusing on something that's more important? Especially ngayon, ano yung current goal ko or aim? Does this event or activity align with my beliefs, values, and goals? What are my core values, beliefs, and current goals? Will saying yes make me even more tired or burnt out? So, stress na ako, pero meron na namang nag-a-ask ng favor ko. So, makakatulog ba ako ng maayos mamaya o lalo lang akong may stress? Will saying yes be good for my mental health? This is very important. Or will it worsen my present status? So, and look back. So, in the past, when have I said yes and then ended up regretting it? So, in that way, it will be easier for you to be honest to yourself and others because the rest of the items I am going to share or will all boil down to this, no? Yung knowing yourself. Number 2, be true to yourself. After knowing what you like, what makes you happy, admit that you can only do so much. We can only do so much. Nothing can beat the old saying, honesty is the best policy. So I agree with Dr. Anhalt and believe that mastery is the key. Let us make it part of our daily grind to say no when we should. Of course, it's easier said than done, but let me help you out with this. So, for example, you are being invited to attend a party of your classmates. So, pwede na tayong lumabas, maluwag na ngayon. But you know that your present priority is your upcoming test and the submission of school requirements. Of course, you have to weigh or timbangin mo and be honest about it. No? So, learning how to decline an invitation or request without feeling guilty is an essential part of living a healthier and happier life. So, holiday season na, family and batch reunions are around the corner, but you still need to consider that you have family members who have comorbidities. For example, ako, if I'm in your case, aside from ACADS and requirements, okay, I also have to think na pandemic ngayon, so I have to save money. So aside from my priorities because of ACADS, no, I am short sa budget. That's one reason to consider also and to be truthful about. Okay, so number 3, One way to alleviate any feeling of guilt is to offer help by providing options. So I personally do this until now. Yes, I can help you with our report, but let me finish mine first. No? So, tutulungan kita after ko. Or wait lang, tulungan kita as soon as I finish my assignment. Or since I was the leader last quarter, baka pwedeng ikaw naman for us to have equal chance to boost our potentials and develop our skills and talents. Sorry, as of now, I am taking care of my lolo or lola. Let me check who is available among our group to do that for you. So, sir, I am sorry I lost my internet connection, but let me reach out who can continue presenting our report. And number 4, set boundaries and be firm. Even if a person is in authority, you do have a right to say no when you know that it is the best answer. So guard yourself from being manipulated and be careful who to trust. If someone finds it hard to accept your no for understandable reasons, then that is out of your control and definitely not your fault. Stand firm and do not force to give in just because that person is feeling uncomfortable. So, as long as you can explain it in a way that shows you considered his or her feelings, but you really have to say no due to other important and understandable reasons, then both of you have nothing to be worried about. And finally, be polite and assertive. So there is a big difference between being assertive and being aggressive. And the same is true with saying no and being rude or unhelpful or yung walang pakikisama or walang konsiderasyon. So even if a person's request sounded impolite, hindi natin control yung reaction ng ibang tao. So you doing the same does not make the situation just and better. Actually unfair kung papakita mo yung same reaction sa tao or you will treat him or her improperly, so inappropriately. You may not always be able to receive the same treatment in return. So we cannot push people to do the same. Another factor is timing. So timing can be an important part of saying no to. Learn to choose the right time and see the significance of a lessened potential pain and guilt. If fulfilling the request will benefit the person in some way and is something you can do without hurting yourself and others, it might be a go signal for you to say it or to say no right away. Para makahanap pa ng paraan yung kaklase mo or person asking you a favor kung gusto niyang magpatulong sa'yo. And so it is up to you to decide when is the most appropriate moment to say no. That may be challenging but looks helpful, no, and worth it. To avoid this situation, be crystal clear and politely assertive as possible. Be prepared that you might have to repeat yourself. So others are trying to negotiate pa. So yung iba, baka pwede ka sa ganitong araw, baka pwedeng mamaya or bukas, o kaya kahit na libre na lang kita, they try to compromise. So if your answer is still no, and in your second or third response, be politely include the fact that you already told him or her no. And you might want to try, I'm sorry, as I've mentioned before, I cannot help you out right now. So hindi ako pwede ngayon. But I will let you know if my schedule clears up in the future or in the coming days. So be sure to let them know that you will be the one notifying them. Timing is also important, as mentioned. No? So, for example, sir, I cannot join the class due to or unstable internet connection. But I will return as soon as it's settled kapag naging maayos na rin po ulit yung connection. And you really need to go back to number 1 because sometimes saying no means saying yes. Every time you say no to something, you are saying yes to something else. No means having the time that you need for yourself. It means that you value your time, especially ngayong pandemic, no? I need to prioritize our own time, our own privacy, no? You protect your own well-being, most importantly, your health, okay? Because, for example, your exam is fast approaching, hindi mo pa natutuloy yung binge watch mo sa Netflix o yung paborito mong K-drama series. So, you have to say no to yourself first and go back, okay, to asking yourself, what is my current goal? Ito it may be a bit familiar. So tinawag ka ng professor to unmute your microphone and nahihiya ka o kinakabahan ka na mag-recite. So how about saying no to yourself about being shy and leave your comfort zone? Okay, so pinagre-report ka ng teacher, professor mo next meeting. So, it's a no for you kasi ang hirap. Tsaka, hindi ka sanay na magsalita kahit na online lang. So, but think of it as a door for you to grow other than treating it as a requirement or obligation. It is like saying yes to something and saying no to something else that is connected about your own desires, that is too much of a comfort zone. So yes to battling fear and no to sticking to my comfort zone or box. So we also need to say no to ourselves. That's it. Let me leave you with some add-ons. Sometimes saying no to others is not hurtful, but actually helpful, not just for you, but for them. When you learn how to love yourself, not by indulging yourself, okay, but saying no to your unhealthy and self-centered desires, you will know how to say no to others in a healthy manner as well.